Well, hello everybody. Well, it's 7 p.m. where I am, and thank you for joining me this evening. Should be broadcasting.
Jubo underscore 1071 said hi Mereak.
How you doing, Jubo? So I thank you all for joining me this evening,
Durin
and
7th said hello.
how you doing, Darren? Um, I'm going to try to give you a demonstration of the new Beorn pack. We'll start with a beer, which is always the proper way to start everything. This is the new tea brew, which gives a
Sing
pretty
hey for the
decent buff, I
bastard
must
rose
say.
of day that washes the weary mud away. A loon is he that will not sing. Oh, water hot is a noble thing. Oh, sweet is the sound of falling rain and a brook that leaps from hill to plain. But better than rain or rippling streams is water hot that smokes and steams.
I love that song.
So this week we have seen the release of yet another DLC, and I am very excited about this one. In fact, I want the DLCs to happen 5, 6, 10 times a year. I know that's a big hope.
MS Statakiwi said hello there MS Stat 2 Hiblink.
How you doing? Um, this one was focused on obviously the Bjorn lore out of The Hobbit, and it was a very interesting side quest. A lot of people missed because they didn't read the book and just saw the movie, and it was cut out of the movie. But the Bjornlings, or Bjorn himself, was quite an interesting character. He lived in a longhouse, and as part of this building pack, we have a very nice leisurely outfit, uh, and we have a new tea, and that tea is liquored. We have a massive building pack, and we'll be exploring that building pack today. Now, earlier in the week, I told myself maybe going on Friday when it's released on a Tuesday was a bad idea because as I watched Jubo and Axebeard and Davy and Grandma and others build all week long. In fact, I don't think Jubo slept at all. I caught a bunch of her streams. I was like, wow, there's not going to be a lot to demonstrate after they're done. But I'm going to try to give you a couple tips and tricks on and do a slightly different demonstration. We are going to do a small build. Where am I? I am in a sandbox. I'm on the second level in the Westgate area. And this is my wife's world, Tenniel's world. And many of you know that Tenniel and I stream occasionally, and she's had some surgery lately, and we're getting back into streaming together. So you can catch us on the channel. Oh, do you actually see my video? I think I'm streaming. I should check this stuff more. Okay, I am. So we are on the second level. Why did I choose here? Well, everyone else was doing the Elven Quarter, which is a great open big space, and everyone was doing giant builds. And I am the king, well, prince of giant builds. I think Davey took the king title away from me, to be quite honest. He is a premier builder on massive builds. So since this is my wife's world, I am going to build her a she shed today. Which is to say I cleared out a decrepit building here and made some space. I did that all ahead of time, so we could just skip the boring part, and we will be building uh, what she likes to call a she shed. Now, it is going to be a standard size, slightly bigger than standard size building. If you haven't noticed, there are a
MS
variety.
Statakiwi said you might want to change your stream info to something other than testing, unless this is a test. Toby Ichiro said hello.
I didn't know I was testing. Uh, I don't even know where to change that. Hold on. Mm. Well, I don't want to hold this up. I'll change the title later.
MS Static Kiwi said on Twitch's Stream Manager.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have it on my iPad right now, and I don't want to waste a lot of time. I only have a limited amount of time to do this, so. The most important part is, of course, streaming on the Steam store, and hopefully that's going well. It looked like it was going, and the recordings here will be for later, and I'll change the title to something more appropriate at that time. So in case you didn't know, most buildings, in fact almost all of them, are a 4x4 grid of these tiles, like the standard granite tiles. And there are a few exceptions to that. Some of the stone buildings are 3x4, and some of the largest buildings, there's one or two, and they're only in the older versions of the game, are slightly bigger than that. Here you see one that is 4x4. See 1, 2, 3, 4. But there was 2 models.
Jubo_1071 said Steam is up and good.
Oh, thank you, Jubo. There are 2 models in the version 1.0, 1.1 of the game, particularly down in the desolation area, that were 4x5. And we are going to be building a 4x5. I'm leaving enough room for a 4x4 building and a 1x4 porch. In case I didn't mention it, this game is one hell of a value. Now I'm not going to talk about the number of hours I've been playing. Let's just say it's excessive. And I've been playing this game since the week of launch. I haven't played any other games. I've tried a few, but really haven't played any in the last 2 years. And the game is very cheap. And it just so happens today it's on sale. It's already a massive value, but it's on sale right now. And just to check, now you're going to have to look at Steam. This is on sale on Steam. I'm not talking Epic or anywhere else, but it's on sale on Steam right now. Now the new Beorn pack is in the United States is $4.99, $4.99. Massive bargain, cheaper than a decent hamburger. But everything else is also on sale. And I think I had those sale prices here somewhere. Let me take a quick look. The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria game itself is 45% off. The Collector's Edition bundle, which includes the soundtrack and digital art, is 29% off. And 31% off the base game plus the content DLC bundle, which is a huge deal. In fact, if you don't have the game, I would just buy that. If you have the game but missing...
Durin 7th said, "Hi guys."
Hey, Durin. If you have the game but don't have all the DLCs, that 31% off right now of the base game and the bundle. The way Steam works is if you already have an item on the bundle, they just remove the cost. And so that's actually your best bargain. So support the game, and I hope you enjoy this demonstration. The game has thousands of hours of fun in the last 2 years, and we're getting a large expansion to the story come this fall, at time frame-ish, fall, winter. And I don't actually have a date, but they allude to its fall, winter. And we're going to get NPCs, we're going to be able to go outside, and we're going to be able to trade. It's going to be a boatload of fun. There's also a very strong community on the Discord channel. There's a great wiki. You can become one of the folks that modify the wiki. That's of course all free, and if you're looking for information, go there too. All right, I think that's the end of my public service announcement. So now let's talk about structure. So the bulk of this expansion, this DLC, was a building set. Now, I think the very first stream I saw was Jubo's, and it was a great stream. You should go check out her channel, Axebeard's channel, Davy's channel, Gaming Grandma's channel, and they showed you all the pieces. So I'm not going to do that. If you want to see that, go to Jubo's channel, watch her first video from earlier in this week, and you will see all the pieces. However, I am going to test some of them because, you know, the engineer in me said, well, John, if you're going to be building a building out of this, how strong is it? I'm like, oh, that's a good question. Why don't we answer that question? So, of course, the first building material you get to build within the game is stone. And now, if you have the DLC, you can build out of wood. Now, I will say that this stone is stone laid on stone. It is not cut and fit nice like granite. Alright, so let's see. Let's just take a standard pickaxe. This is the steel pickaxe, pretty low level one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7 hits. What about this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So, it's in between granite and it's not exactly accurate because every hit is 30 points and it could be. I can tell you structurally it's in between stone and granite. And of course we already know that adamant is double the strength of granite. So if you call stone walls 1 in strength, then the wood is like 1.5 compared to the granite, which is 2. Now, why is that important? Because in some areas where you get troll attacks, I would not be building buildings out of wood. Just like I wouldn't be building buildings out of stone. Because a troll attack will go right through it. Orcs, goblins, and the like, they're going to be able to bust down just like they can with stone, the wood as well. But wood will take longer, and of course granite and adamant holds up against most of their attacks pretty well. Now, you're saying to yourself, but I really like the look of wood. That's great. When you get adamant, you can layer it. And I will show you a demonstration of that. Now, I think other people have done this week, so this isn't exactly new. But I'll show you how I like to layer it. So I like to build and I'll show you this demonstration too. Wrong one. Alright, so here's some adamant, and we're going to add some wooden pieces to it. Now when this is attacked, of course the side facing the attack will take damage. And it will eventually be destroyed. There's nothing you can really do about it. Oh, did I lay that out wrong? No, I don't think I did. I just clicked wrong. But that's easier to repair. The important thing is they don't get through, right? You don't want them to get through. This also helps if you want to have two faces of the outside of your house look different than the inside. But let's say you didn't. Well, you can do this. And then I use an arch here. Now when the attack happens, the outside will take damage and you may have to repair it, but it will not get through. And this will withstand a single troll attack pretty well. Alright, let's test some strength of materials here. Let's see if there's a difference in building. With support. The standard test that was done a long time ago is what can a wall support? We know that 4 tiles is pretty safe. That's 4 tiles. Oh, that attached itself. So, pretty much just as strong as granite is for support. So that's good. That's a big change over stone, which is slightly weaker. And we know vertically, because we've seen other folks, and I don't want to go to an elven area, but we've seen folks go up 3-4 stories without any difficulty whatsoever. And so, yeah, pretty good strength. I'll show you another trick or two in a minute, but we're going to get building first. But before I do that, I am going to get set up for that demonstration. Since I'm here. By the way, I do have a key to give away tonight. If you want to enter in for a copy of the Beorn DLC on Steam, I have a code. Exclamation point enter in either chat on YouTube or Twitch will enter you into the contest. Now I must tell you that this is the first time I've automated that, so barring any difficulty it should work fine. Now I did take this building that was here and destroy it. Put up some scaffold, put up some light, and I marked where I wanted the corner of the building to be. And that was just for convenience. By the way, one adamant, the narrow width of an adamant barrier, you can see, is plenty big for my dwarf to walk through. In case you were ever wondering how much space you have to leave, that width right there is more than enough. More than enough. So we're actually going to start off by laying down a granite floor. Now you're going to ask me, John, why a granite floor? Granite is the easiest to align in my humble opinion. If you look at the cross section of where the tiles intersect the lines that divide the one tile into 9, they are easiest to line up, plumb and level. That's 5. When I start doing this way, I like to be at a corner so I have a good line of sight, because I want to make sure all those are aligned. But granite, since they changed it a few versions back, actually snaps really well. But we're not going to leave the granite here. What I want, believe it or not, is the foundation. Now, you saw a bunch of stuff on the floor you can't get rid of. I did clean off everything I could get rid of when I destroyed that building. And that is going to be the size of the building. I'm going to put a porch on the front. Now, the more points something connects with, the easier it is to snap into place. Now, the penalty with using a foundation, and they're free, they don't cost any materials, is the fact that you can't sink anything into it. See? Put something against it, but you can't sink into it. And the only thing you can really put against it is adamant, because everything else will sink into it. And so if you want to sink into the ground, you can't use this. However, you may not always have a choice, because early on in the game you don't have adamant. And I found that it's actually better and more stable to be on this than it is some of the rougher terrain nowadays with objects that you can't remove. So, because I do want to embed something in it, we are going to replace around the edge with adamant. Now you're saying to yourself, well, John, then, or Mereak, why did you do that? Why did you put that down first? Because I wanted it even and level. And you'll notice that when I destroyed that foundation and I laid the first adamant barrier, it was perfectly level, because the maximum number of spots that it could connect with, it fit as tight as it could get automatically. So now on 2 of the faces of the barrier is something square and level that I can attach to. Now, small cracks do happen. I mean, they just do. It is important, in my opinion, still to have your foundation strong. If you don't have a good foundation, you are not going to get a good fit.
They're not gonna last this night. Ever wonder what sunlight feels like?
Oh, unfortunately, I removed that foundation before I saw that crack. I also recommend building with the torch. I normally don't use the torch very much, but for building, It's actually quite useful. Especially if you're like me and you build through the evening. Oh, did I miss a pile? Nope. That one's a little high.
We got orcs.
I don't like how those looked. It's worth taking your time on the foundations. They won't be perfect, but you want them as close as you can get. Yeah, that turned out the same. You want to tighten that gap. If there is a gap, just use your controller to tighten it up. Okay. We don't need that guide anymore. So here is our foundation. Next, I'm going to lay out my corner posts. I like to lay out the corner posts because it identifies the edges. Out of the new set, I've tried some of the posts. This post is okay, but not on a house. It's just too big. On a massive place, maybe not. And because I used adamant, I can sink these. Otherwise, they're going to be up here. And so I will identify the quarters, making sure that they're touching the ground. They should snap pretty clean. Again, I like to look at things through the lens of granite because it's got that nice grit on it. It's easy to align.
Trash it.
You will not kill this dwarf.
I don't think they're going to get very far.
Bring the big guy. Help.
Alright, my front porch is outlined. Now this is going to be a straight up wood house. I'm not going to try to do any inlay of wood or anything else. I am going to use some granite and stone pieces in areas, and I'll show you why in a minute. Any place I use stone or granite, you can use wood, but it's a personal preference. And we are going to put the floor in last because I want to make sure that my walls are touching the solid ground pretty well. Now don't be worried if you see something like this. It's the game. It's fine. It's not gonna be bad, the color, unless it's red. If it's red, that's a problem. I like looking at the
Take what's good, destroy the rest.
I like looking at the seams to make sure I have good alignment. That one's slightly off. I think it's that side actually. You want as smooth of a transition as you can get. That's better. So you'll see like the top of the wainscot or the baseboard or the crown on the top. You want to look at those to make sure that they are aligned to the piece next to it. And like I'm fond of saying, if not, wiggle it in place. It'll be fine.
Done patrolling. Report eight. Eight.
Sometimes I'll lay out walls and then go back once they're all aligned. Again, the more faces you can snap to, the better off you are with keeping alignment. Now there's obviously a wall there, there's nothing to look at, but that back wall I might put in a window. Yeah, that's good. Where am I off alignment wise? Now I've noticed that there are small graphical alignment issues with some of the pieces. But all the pieces, not just for the Beorn set. So you're not looking for big anomalies. You're looking for bigger seams and anomalies. If there's a seam between two pieces, they may not have enough connection, and that'll cause stability issues later. Alright, that looks pretty decent to me. Now, I want this building, which is 4x4 for a reason. The roof pieces are built, the corners are built on a 2x2 square, which means that their numbers are divisible by 4 because you have 2 on each side. And so if you lay things out on an even grid that's 4x4, those pieces will align. Now you can embed those roof pieces into themselves, which can give you a better fit if you have an odd number of squares across. But for alignment purposes, I would stick to keeping it 4x4, 6x6, something even, or 6x4, even number of tiles for the best fit and the most flexibility. All right, let's see. Well, I want a second level, but I don't want a second level. I want to add more detail. How about this? Can't remember if if it was someone was looking, maybe it was Gaming Grandma, that was looking at a second level, and I thought, oh, well, not, you know, a taller roof than just a standard 4-high wall. And this is the piece when I saw her stream earlier. I think it was Gaming Grandma. If I get it confused with somebody else, I apologize. I watched a lot of streams this week. This is the piece I would choose. And it gives a nice double accent, which I think looks nice. Again, watch for the alignment. Yeah, the corners where that all looks pretty square. The better job you do squaring the bottom, easier it is to do the top. Let's see. Where do I want to go from here? Oh, I don't want a window there. And you know what? I want 2 windows here. Let's see. Why don't we put a stairs right by the door? I want to get fancy, have railings on each side. Now the top part's going to be more like a loft because I'm not going to do a pyramid shaped I'm not going to do a pyramid shaped roof. I'm going to do more of a barn style roof, I think. Do I want that? I'll leave this for now. Might put in a different color later. Now if I align this right. Oh, these are our style floors, by the way. I don't know. I'm partial to the one on the right, personally. They did give us a nice variety this time. I mean, compared to before. Which, let's face it, I'd be ashamed of myself with that one. That one looks like an orc built it. I dislike that immensely. These are 4 nice choices now. And I particularly like that one. So I think I'm going to use that one down here. I will use that one upstairs. So oh, wait a minute. I want to go up one more, don't I? No. Because I wanted to raise this up for the barn style roof. That looks right in the middle. This floor is pretty easy to align too. Just pay attention to the lines to make sure that they all connect at nice crisp points.
Ever wonder what sunlight feels like?
Alrighty. Hmm. Yeah, that's more comfortable of a walk. Alright, so from here, see, this is why I normally draw these things out. um, hmm. Well, let's see. I want a gable. I know that. And to do a gable, I need a side that would have windows on it, because you don't want to have a gable facing the wall. So for example, you wouldn't put a gable facing there. I mean, it's just a blank wall. So why don't we do this one? Hmm. Oh, but I don't want to continue on what we did down there. You know what? Let's put those back. This is one of the nicest things about this new set. So they gave you all the pieces. I know that sounds weird, but look, you can decide that, well, I want a window with just the bottom. And yes, you have one, but you don't have to use it like that. But you can. But let's say you wanted a window just with the crown and not the baseboard. You can actually do that. Oh, you can't put it on a window. I put that on a wall. Oh. I think I'll write a bug on that one. You should be able to embed that there. That's disappointing. Anyway. Nope. I clicked wrong. Alright, so that's where my gables will be. Now, if you've ever been in a loft in an attic space, you have to remember that the walls are going to slope in. The long walls are where they're going to be, and they're going to be from left to right. So
Zim the Bard said. Cat wiggle diddle cat. Stabby raid cat. Sparkle cat. Wiggle diddle cat. Stabby raid cat. Sparkle cat. Wiggle diddle cat. Stabby raid cat. Sparkle cat. Wiggle diddle cat. Stabby raid cat. Sparkle
Well,
cat.
I don't know what the
Wiggle
heck
diddle
that
cat.
is, but
Stabby
that's
raid
annoying.
cat. Sparkle cat. Wiggle diddle cat. Stabby raid cat. Sparkle cat. Wiggle diddle cat. Stabby raid
Okay.
cat. Sparkle cat. Wiggle diddle cat. Stabby raid cat. Sparkle.
Oh boy.
Chris _ Quadraxis. 666 said cat. Sparkle cat. Wiggle diddle cat. Stabby raid. Cat sparkle cat. Wiggle diddle cat. Stabby raid. Cat sparkle
There's
cat.
like 6
Wiggle
of them.
diddle cat. Stabby raid. Cat sparkle cat. Wiggle diddle cat. Stabby raid. Cat sparkle cat. Wiggle diddle cat. Stabby raid. Cat sparkle cat. Wiggle diddle cat. Stabby raid. Cat sparkle. Wild Blueberry said cat. Hype 3 cat rainbow raid cat. Sparkle cat Chris dance cat raid.
Hold on while I
Cat
turn
Chris
off
dance cat.
SpeakerBot.
Sparkle cat rainbow raid cat. Hype 3 cat rainbow raid cat. Sparkle cat Chris dance cat raid. Cat Chris dance cat. Sparkle cat rainbow raid cat. Hype 3 cat. Rainbow raid cat. Sparkle cat Chris dance cat raid. Cat Chris dance cat. Sparkle cat rainbow raid. Shadow _ 379 said cat. Hello cat. Rainbow raid cat. Rainbow hype cat. Hype 3 cat. Hello cat. Rainbow raid cat. Rainbow hype cat. Hype 3 cat.
Alright, I just turned off SpeakerBot. I have an anti-spam thing that I guess is not functional. Okay. Hello. So, I also know that I want to do a barn style roof that hangs over the edge, but I don't want exposed eaves. So on the edge of a house you have what's called a soffit. So I am going to use some granite to cover that soffit. I don't want to see the girders. I noticed most people like the look of the girders on the inside of the roof. And there's plenty of demonstrations of that. And then I think it was Davey who was saying he didn't really like that style. And I'm like, well, you don't have to see it. You can cover it. So as an example, we're going to cover it. So planning for the eaves. I am going to put a granite soffit down so that when I lay out the roof, from underneath you won't see a hole with the wood girders. You're gonna just see granite as a soffit. Now I could have chosen wood. I
Ever wonder what sunlight feels like?
I'll tell you why I didn't in a second. It's purely an aesthetics thing. Obviously, if you don't have granite yet and you want this look of a closed soffit on your roof, you're going to need to use a wood. But here's why I didn't. What, you can't build there? That's weird. That's temporary. I just want to demonstrate something. So that's what the underside of that piece looks like. And that's the underside of that piece. I would also point out that it's the wrong direction. So if you notice, this is an issue that I've reported. The wood goes left, front to back, but if you look at the top it goes the opposite direction, left to right.
Ever wonder
I don't know if you
what
can see
sunlight
that.
feels like?
So you can see the top of that piece goes, the grain goes left to right, and on the bottom it goes the opposite direction, and that's a mistake. But I didn't like either of those two looks, so I decided that to line my soffit, I'm going to use granite. You can use stone. Doesn't matter. Or you can use wood. You can use whatever you want. Okay. Now, I know that I want to cover the interior, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is on the inside lay out a couple of things. The first being, I know that this area is going to be open so you can walk up to the windows. But I want it to match the border. I think this will snap in. When I used it before, it did. Yeah, that works.
I hate this.
It was all the emojis. His spam protection banned your hubby. Oh, that was a good thing, Jubo? I don't even know what that was. Catatonia, if that was that was your raid and it was a good thing, thank you. But I didn't know what that was. Anyway, I just learned what a raid was like a week ago. Ah. Well, thank you for that. Sorry. um Oh, I like this building set a lot. I also don't like these corners. So I've been rounding them off a little bit. Just makes the edge less stark. Yeah, that looks good. Now, as the roof comes in, it's going to collide with these walls. Yeah, guarantee it. So, I don't know how high they'll have to be, but I do know that I want that bottom edge. I think at the 2-hour mark we'll hold the drawing. Something tells me we'll fill in those pieces later. You know, thinking in 3 dimensions, when I place this Oh, is that off? Juicy hamburger, had to chew. I I like a good burger. So I'm glad that making me hungry. See, now I'm getting distracted by the chat. Alright. Now you're saying to yourself, why did you just do that? And I'll show you here in a second. It's to close off how I want the interior and exterior to look. I don't want the open frame to show. Let's see here. Should probably put these up. Now, each one of these is half a wall high, which is a little odd. There are other pillars like that in the game, like these, where they're half high instead of multiples like this, where you got to have 4 pieces for a pillar. This you only need 2. I didn't level those out, but trust me, you need 2. So these wooden ones, which I really like the look of, they need 2. So I know I need to support up to the roof, which I increased, and they're on the ground. So I know I need at least 3. So base, I'll use the base of the column, the shaft, and then the capital or the crown. I don't know why they call it a capital. In the US we call it a crown. I don't know if that's a... No, that did not snap. Get over here. Want to make sure that seam is tight. Looks tight, and it's touching, so... I better eat before I starve to death. I love this bonus.
Oh, water cold we may pour at thee down a thirsty throat and be glad indeed. But better is beer if drink we lack and water hot. Pour down the back.
Yeah, that is my favorite song.
Hello, Chief. Shaflano. Okay. Let's see.
Catatonia said at Jubo_1071. You got that right. LOL.
I left space on this side on purpose so you could see it. Normally, if I'm building a building like this and I know it's against the wall, I just attach it to the wall. You don't get as much stability as you used to by attaching to walls and such, but I would have put a line of adamant on the wall and then attached to it, but I wanted you to be able to see what it looked like. All right. I'm going to redo that.
Cheflano said just read Silmarillion. Is this game accurate from the book?
This game isn't based on the Silmarillion. It has the appendice. It's based on the Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit, and the appendices. But as far as lore accuracy, I can tell you that it is very that have done this game have gone an exceptional out of their way to make it lore accurate, bringing in experts, working with the estate of Tolkien. In fact, there was a really cool story which made me fall in love with this game even more that Jean Paul, the director of the game, talked about in one of their very first interviews, which was they asked everybody who interviewed to work on the game why they wanted to be a dwarf. It was like one of the most important questions as far as they were concerned. Why would you want to be a dwarf? And I thought, wow, you're really going for people that really care about the lore. And that stuck with me. And I gotta tell you that every time something comes out or changes in this game, they want to make it as accurate as possible. Now, obviously, the retaking of Moria, the birth during the deathless seventh incarnation, none of that's covered.
Cheflano said, you convinced me I bought the game.
Oh, it's on sale right now on Steam. Get the it'll give you credit, but get it with the DLCs. It's got like a 30% discount right now, and the game's already cheap. And you'll get all the DLCs and everything else. And if you already own the game, then it will give you credit. You won't pay the full price. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I am a huge fan of Tolkien, and I think the dwarves are the well, Gimli's my favorite dwarf. I probably didn't have to destroy all those, but a little bit of OCD coming out here.
Cheflano said, I don't have enough money to buy the DLC with it.
Well, you can enter the drawing. Whoever wants to enter the drawing, I have one DLC for this this Beorn pack, and I have one to give away. And the drawing will be about 2 hours into the stream, so about another hour from now. And to enter in either the Twitch or the YouTube chat, type in !enter. You'll be entered to win. Oh, what did I
Cheflano
just
said,
do
enter.
here?
Mereak Firmaxe said Cheflano has entered the giveaway.
There you go.
The Adventures of Mereak Firmaxe said Chaflano has entered the giveaway.
Okay, I messed up someplace. Where did I mess up?
Catatonia said, okay, I need to lurk for a bit and tend to the garden and the chickens. I will be back to chat in a bit. And LT3, lurk.
Okay, thank you for stopping by. Where did I screw up? That looks straight as an arrow.
Ever wonder what sunlight feels like?
I don't see any ridge or shadows there.
Get 'em.
Alright, this is getting to be frustrating. Where is that knot level?
I hate this.
Huh. Oh, it's gonna drive me loco. Hmm.
Why'd I gotta do this?
Oh, I did not want to do that. This is what I get for winging it. Normally I draw a sketch. Well, to be honest, I did have sketches, and then during the week, everyone was doing things that I had thought of. Like, I can't do that. I got to do something different.
Cheflano said, I think the problem comes from your corners.
Yeah, I looked at the corners.
Ever wonder?
Oh, that corner is off, isn't it? Alright, well, last pass, and if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to move on because I have a limited amount of time. Nope. Oh, I'm struggling today. Nope. That corner looks pretty square. Well, as they say in real construction, it's fine, just slap some mud on it and you're good. Rub some stone on it, it'll be fine. That's what drywall mud is for. If only I could hide my dwarf. Alright, well, that corner is going to be the way it is. Alright, let me put back those walls before we get too far into this.
I hate this.
Looking for the alignment on the top and in the lines. Get it as close to perfect as possible. I don't know where that's going to line up yet, so let's start working on this roof. Now remember, I have the goal of you won't be able to see the internal structure of the roof. But I need to know where this goes. Yeah. I do like the fact that you can walk on this roof. Now, that's what you want to see.
Cheflano said, "Good night, man. It's 2 a.m. in France right now. Good luck with your build."
Oh my
Teddy
God,
1
2
said,
a.m.
"Easier to clean the gutters."
Easier to clean the gutters.
Bulbor87 said, "At Cheflano, from what I've played and read of the Silmarillion and Unfinished Tales, this game is heavily lore aligned. The game director is a big lore fan."
Oh yes, he is. Most definitely is. You know what? Do I want to do that? Alright, I've got the alignment correct, so I know I'll come to a peak. But I wanted it to end here, because this is going to be a porch. Alright. So let's start aligning here.
Why'd I gotta do this?
You can fall from 2 stories, by the way, and not take significant damage. Alright. Now, if you were to see the internals, I would have used all small pieces for consistency of look, but no reason to do that.
Ever wonder what sunlight feels like?
Bulbor87 said, "This angled roof coming to a point is reminding me of Rivendell. I wonder, has anyone recreated the last homely house by chance?"
I don't think so. You could in a larger build area for sure. Alright, now from here, I want to go... I want to cover that so you can't see it. Why don't I end there and then go down here? But that's something you can do in the game. There's a large group of us builders and we get to show off our builds all the time. In fact, there's currently a contest going on for this expansion, this DLC expansion, for demonstrating your builds.
Ever wonder what sunlight feels like?
Alright, so every once in a while you'll get something like this. It's an order problem, so it can't determine what needs to go first. And so sometimes it's just easier to put the bigger pieces in last. So play around with the order things go in, and that would be my suggestion.
Bulbor87 said,
Huh.
"Yes, I saw your builds in the Build Awards. It's what got me hooked on the game." Smiling face.
Oh, thank you. My son just brought me coffee. Splendid. Thank you. Oh, we have quite a number of prolific builders now.
First.
Some just mammoth builds and worlds and so check out Axebeard and Davey and Jubo and Gaming Grandma. There's a bunch of folks now, which I am extremely happy about too, by the way. I need something to align that with. The more the better. So this is a technique I commonly use to get alignment and to increase snapping.
Bulbor87 said, "I have just come back from Dune Awakening, and in that game the building community is monstrous too." Teddy1 said, "Dwarves gotta build."
Yep, dwarves gotta build, Teddy. Dwarves gotta build. Yeah, that looks like a nice detail.
Destroy their camp.
Of course, I don't know how I'm going to put in this one.
I'm done patrolling. Time to eat. Eat.
No. Oh, it's a bummer. Well, that'll be as close as I can get, I think. Alright. That's a nice upstairs. Now, I don't want... As it builds up in here, I don't want the upper part. Again, I don't want to see those girders. That's just the only reason I'm really doing that isn't because I think the girders are ugly. That is in fact not true. I actually like the girders, but everyone else did that, and I didn't see anyone doing a build to try to hide them. So I'm gonna try hiding them. Okay. Now by the math, this should be 1 off. Nope, it's perfect. Oh, that's sweet. Hmm. Yep, that looks good.
What I gotta do this?
Alright, so the underside of that is done. Now let's cover the inside. Hmm. Oops. Nice. And we do the same thing again. We're going to have to
What I gotta do this?
put down the granite. I hope this looks as good as it does in my head when it's done. Dang, why don't you want to snap? Now I noticed when I put this vertical here, it had a issue with the resolving what was going where. Oh, I wonder if I can do
What I
that.
gotta do this?
Oh, no. I did not want to go down. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that looks good.
I hate this.
All right, looks like we've got to go up one more. Oh.
Done patrolling. It's time to eat. Eat.
Ah.
Why do I gotta do this?
I have to say, when you're manually putting in all the trim and the pieces, the order of operations, when you can add things and it can resolve them, is very
Alexandria said
complex.
hi.
Hey, Lurie. Come on. Sometimes angle makes all the difference. One more, I think. Okay, that's even on the top. That's what I want to see. Even on the top. Beautiful. Nope, wrong set, John. Well, my wife's getting a premium quality she shed here.
Get him!
Should I do one more? Why not?
Done patrolling. Portraits. See?
Why not overcomplicate the crap out of it?
And Naxbeard12 said I'm late, but I'm here. Cold sweat smile.
It's all good, man. I am about to make a tray ceiling in here. At least I have it pictured in my head as a tray ceiling. I guess we'll find out shortly.
Why'd I gotta do this?
See, this is what happens, Axebeard, when I don't lay it all out first or make sketches or anything else.
Get him.
Wow. Okay, well, at least this one was close.
AX Beard 12 said your way isn't wrong, it's just not something I'm capable of. Clearly your way produces superior results. Thumbs
No,
up, medium light skin tone.
I would not say that. Some days everything just clicks into place. Other days, not so much. Well, I don't want that big gap there. But something that's clicking over here is not working right. That's better. It's not perfect, but I'll take it before I waste too much time. Now remember this bug. This small piece, the green is different on each side. So I'm sure they'll fix that eventually, and that'll break everything that I do.
Teddy1 said gotta run. Best of luck to all who enter the drawing.
Oh, have a good one, Teddy.
AX Beard 12 said yes, it's a weird one.
Alright, where is...
Ever wonder what sunlight feels like?
Alright. So for the tray ceiling, I'm going to have to put this stuff in first. Oh, should I do this instead? Oh, I like that.
JP Hanks said hello Master Mereak.
Hello. You know what? I'm gonna try this.
Why'd I gotta do this?
Overhang or no overhang? I think I'll do an overhang.
AXBeard12 said yes, embrace the spontaneity.
Yeah, I don't like the spontaneity. Funny story, when I was dating my wife years ago, she complained that I wasn't spontaneous, because I'm not. And I said, okay, I'll try to be more spontaneous. So a couple months later, she caught me. I'd ask her things like, well, where do you want to go eat or whatever. And I would pre-arrange, because I got to know her, like reservations at her 3 or 4 favorite places. And then she caught me when she chose, running and telling them, oh, I got to cancel this reservation. Uh, and I said, I was spontaneous, planned spontaneity. That's what it is. It's planned spontaneity. I'm just not a spontaneous person. It's not in my psychological makeup. She thought it was funny.
I hate this.
And I don't care about this overlap because no one will ever see it.
AXBeard12 said I think it was a noble attempt.
I tried. Oh. Should I have put down that first? Crap. Oh, and it didn't show through. Good. Well, the little edge did.
Why'd I gotta do this?
Well, I hope this really all aligns right. Or I'm going to be pretty disappointed.
I hate this.
There's a crack there. Eh, I think that'll be okay.
We got orcs.
Ah, it doesn't look bad. Alright, now to finish off the ends. This ought to be interesting. So I'm sure you're saying, well, how are you going to do that? Well, I think Davey was the first one to announce it. Though I think all of us pretty much tried it. But I will give him credit for this.
Why'd I gotta do this?
I noticed that the connections on these beams are, there's more connection points. So it would be nice if we had triangular shaped pieces. But when all else fails. Now when I do this, I start from one side and I do overlap because it helps. So I go up one side and then I come down the other, and it helps guide the next one so it snaps into place.
AXBeard12 said Davey's the one that rolled me about it. Thumbs up medium light skin tone.
Yeah, Davey was the one that first said something. So yeah. But I steal liberally. I saw Jubo did something today. I'm like, oh, I'm stealing that. Alright, I gotta climb up there. I need a better angle. Maybe it's that one that's slightly off.
AXBeard12 said it's not stealing if you say yoink when you do it.
Yeah.
Tears of joy.
Yoink. Oh no, I told Jubo I'm stealing it. I was like, I'm stealing this, just so you know. If we had ladders, I would have created that gap up there. I would have created an attic. That would have been cool. Not that one. All right.
Ever wonder what sunlight feels like?
All right. I don't know if everyone has entered. If you haven't entered, please exclamation point enter for the DLC. about... Oh, I can't reach those. I'll do it from the inside.
Littlest Swanee said, enter. Mereak Firmaxe said Littlest Swanee has entered the giveaway. The Adventures of Mereak Firmaxe said Littlest Swanee has entered the giveaway.
Woohoo!
Done patrolling. Portraits. Eight.
Oh. So I like to put in foundational stone just for aesthetics. No reason it should be yellow, but I pretty much ignore the colors still. I think this just gives it a rustic look, dresses it up. Let's see. Sorry, I need a drink of coffee.
AXBeard12 said rustic vibes for the win.
Alright, these are part of the normal game, but I'm going to use them here to dress up the front. Been trying to use as many of the DLC pieces as possible, but some days you just gotta have nice basic piece. Oh, really? Nah.
Ever wonder what sunlight feels like?
Our XBeard12 said get that coffee in now, it's on to beer or bourbon in less than an hour.
Yeah, I was up at my normal 5 this morning, and by 5:30 I was already chatting with Eppers. Oh, I'm on the wrong. No, I was on the right one. Where'd it go? Alright, there it is. Now, if I was in the Elven area, I would have put some of the Ent stuff in here. but I am not. But it does add some nice greenery if you want to add greenery. Alright. Oh, too big.
What I gotta do this?
Elatiri said hello.
Hello, Elatiri.
Elatiri said, enter. Mereak Firmaxe said Elatiri has entered the giveaway.
Cool.
The Adventures of Mereak Firmaxe said Elatiri has entered the giveaway.
What I gotta do this?
Gotta put up the railings before OSHA gets mad. I don't like that. That's a better fit. Well, you can't see any of the girders. Maybe I shouldn't have used the granite pieces. The wood doesn't look as bad as I thought. But the granite pieces add a nice contrast. Could have made the stairs a little smaller, but I wanted to accent them. Should have enough room. Ah ha ha ha, I do.
I hate this.
Question is, will I have enough room here? This is a little tight, but oh, I can. Well, hopefully that's something different. Tray ceiling inlaid in the middle of the walls. I covered all the trusses, so it's a nice clean finish. Actually,
KXBeard12 said love it.
Nah. I could put... That looks like a little much. Nah, I'll leave it off. Anyway. Nice double border. Alright, last but not least, let's look at this.
Done patrolling. Portraits. Eight.
I just love this floor. Parquet floor. What did I hit? Nope. That's cozy. Of course, I know better than to decorate it for my wife.
Your wife, she may be fine, may give kisses sweet as wine. My lover's got a beard as bright as brass. Yours may smith a thousand blades, while
crap.
mine brushes, oils, and braids. My lover's got a beard as bright as brass. My lover, my lover, I can see her cross the dimmest, darkest pass. Like some summoned being of night, ever there to guide me right. My lover's got a beard as bright as brass.
I have about 15 minutes. So, let's see if I can trigger the winner.
Victory!
Mereak Firmaxe said winner.
Victory!
The Adventures of Mereak Firmaxe said winner. Mereak Firmaxe said Shaflano is the winner.
Yay!
The Adventures of Mereak Firmaxe said Shaflano is the winner. Mereak
Shaflano.
Firmaxe said Shaflano is the winner.
I got it. Okay.
The Adventures of Mereak Firmaxe said Shaflano is the winner.
Well, I'll have to work on that, but Shaflano, hopefully you're still there. So let me see. You, how do I send you? So, Shaflano, if you go on Discord and you go to the
AX
main
Beard 12
page,
said we can get another one. Won't be hard.
we can get another one. It won't be hard. I don't know what you're talking about, Axbeard. But Shaflano, if you can contact me on Discord, on the main Lord of the Rings page, I am Mereak Firmaxe, of course, and you can contact me there, and I'm happy to give you the Steam code.
Mereak Firmaxe said Discord please Mereak Firmaxe.
Yeah, it
The
doubles
Adventures
it
of
because
Mereak
I'm typing
Firmaxe
in.
said Discord please Mereak Firmaxe.
Alright, before I fix the mistake that I just saw, I want to give you guys a demonstration of something that might help you out. Like I pointed out a couple of the anomalies and a couple of the issues, and you watched me get around them. There was one thing that I was a little disappointed with. So I like not always having the wood show through, right? Because if you're underneath, you may not want from underneath a multi-story building the wood. You might want stone or gold, right? And you're like, well, I don't want it to bleed all the way through. I want a different aesthetic look underneath. Now, it just so happens that the old wood piece, you used to be able to do that with. Notice it did not bleed through. That's what that piece looks like, and that's what that piece looks like. And so the new pieces don't snap like that. I don't know why. But if you put down one of the old wood pieces, it will snap to the old wood piece and you will get to keep the stone, like the granite or the gold inlaid stone underneath, and it won't look like that. So there's a little trick. If you're building a multi-story building and you want wood above stone, you don't have to have a gap. Just use one of these older polished wood floors, and then you can add whatever you want. Because once you establish the connection points, you're good to go. And it will not bleed through. In fact, watch this. It works the opposite direction. So wood underneath and stone on top, and it keeps it. And you'll notice on the edge, of course, you can see it. It took me forever to figure this out because in some of my bigger builds, I like having wood floors on top of stone or vice versa. And I wasn't able to do it, and it was driving me nuts. It's a short drive, as my wife would say, but it was driving me nuts. And this took care of that altogether. So if you ever want to do something like that, that's how I'd recommend doing it. That way you don't take up a too big of a floor. It fits right in. So again, to do that, you put down the old polished wood floor, and then the next floor will snap right to it. That's it. I love the stamina and energy boost this thing gives. Look at that. It's just massive. Alright, I noticed one mistake. I've got like half hour to fix it before I clean up. Oh, two mistakes. Hold on. I did not put the stone underneath this. Oh, this is gonna suck. Oh. Best not to fall off a roof. Unfortunately, in my life, I've had that happen in real life. Not a good thing. Of course, as they say, the fall doesn't hurt. It's the sudden stop at the end that does. Come on. There you go. Oh, these tiles tonight just want to fight with me. My kingdom to hide the damn interface and dwarf when I'm building. Devs, if you're watching this, I really need that feature. I've asked for it on and off, but it's in tight quarters now. It's really a problem. I gotta say, I like the stability changes. Like, I remember once upon a time, if I did what I just did, I would have lost like the entire building. Slight bleed through on the edge I didn't anticipate when I had the idea to do this, but it's not bad. I mean, from underneath that, maybe the stone color would have been less obvious. I like the roof line. Got a nice slope porch and that ends in like a barn style face. Now you could have just continued this up and done a pyramid. I don't think it would have looked as nice personally. Got some windows upstairs. on the other side of the door. Okay. Mistake fixed. It's cozy. I like it. Love the floors. Each one of these stories is, well, this one's almost what? This is a floor and one, yeah, same floor and a unit, floor and a half. I like how the tray ceiling turned out. I think that turned out pretty well. Though if I was to do this again, I probably wouldn't have used granite on the inside. I would have used one of the other pieces of wood. In fact, I didn't even think of it. No, that one's the same. That's not really that much different. I know the one I wouldn't use. Oof. All of these are the same. Yeah. See, I don't know. See, I think that's too dark. I do like the darker wooden planks.
Ever wonder what sunlight feels like?
I like the rich set of colors they chose for the wood too. I like the fact that it's not all one. You've got reddish tones, you've got dark oak tones, you've got light beechwood tones, pine tones, redwood, red oak tones or cherry. Yeah, I like that. I like the variety. My experience working with wood, it's hard to get multiple boards to match perfectly. And I think it just adds character to anything that you build, that there's variance. Got the bear theme going on, Axebeard.
AXBeard12 said yes.
Alright, well, why don't I give you a quick tour. Go into free cam mode.
Kasumi said hey Mereak.
Hey, Kasumi. FR. Oh, of course it's night, right? Take a quick picture. Honestly, I haven't been drinking, but oh,
Kasumi said, the pillar tops with the bear faces may be my fave new piece in the DLC.
it is a nice piece.
Axebeard said I really like the lattice work in new windows.
Windows are a nice touch. The fact that our other windows are giant holes is not cool. But I like the fact that they introduce windows. That means that in the future they might introduce them again. Anyway, that's a quick tour. I guess I have to improve my free cam skills here. Chiflano, are you there?
Alexandria said looks amazing. Kasumi said the one thing that is better on a controller, free cam tours. Mereak Firmaxe said Cheflano you there you won. The Adventures of Mereak Firmaxe said Cheflano you there you won.
Anybody know Chiflano? I don't recognize the name being on the Discord group. Of course, I don't know everybody. Anyway, there's my rendition of a she shed. This is also a nice add-on too. I just wish it was a little thinner, little smaller. But I know they made it the same size as the other one. But I think it would have been nice if it was a little thinner. It doesn't, or if they gave us a medium-sized one of these, that would be
Axbeard
great.
said I don't recognize the name, but it may be different on Discord.
True, Axbeard, true. Also wouldn't mind them adding triangular pieces. That would be really nice. Well, I hope... So, Axbeard, what's the plan? I have 20 minutes left. I guess I could do... I don't really have anything else up and ready, do I? So that took 2.5 hours.
Axbeard said, you could go box a bear.
Yeah, no. I don't know what it is with you and boxing bears. I just, that is not fun, dude.
Kasumi said lol.
Alright. Let's see. Oh, I want to get those couple of pieces out of there. Was there anything up there? I don't think so. Alright. And there was a point there I thought it was never going to get done. Now I got done a little early. Hold on a second while I change worlds. Let me see. I have my original world, which I've been working on because I want to continue it. When the new content comes out in fall, I wanted to continue the original world that I had. And I never really built there, never really did anything. But I started rebuilding and retrofitting, so give me a moment.
Axbeard said okay. 2 wolves and 2 badger hogs, and we'll induct you into the Bare Knuckle Brawlers Guild.
Oh, it's not that, Axbeard. I don't want to be restricted from killing goats. I get enough harassment from you and my wife about it now.
Kasumi said goats are friend, not food.
Oh no, they are leather. Walking leather and food. Let me see. Now, this is an original 1.0 world, so you may see some things that don't exist in the game anymore, and if you do, I apologize. Well, I don't apologize. It's just that's because of the world. And but I can show you the retrofit of this world here in a minute. I put you on the pause screen since this is a server. If you'd like more build videos and instructions, and I have some 1-minute shorts, you can go to YouTube and find me there or subscribe. I just got affiliate for Twitch, though the only reason I did it is because they were going to start putting ads on my streams anyway, which I don't know if I got ads tonight or not. I didn't see any notifications. You're going to have to tell me how that works, Axbeard, because I think I'm supposed to know when I'm going to get an ad, right? Or do I have to watch the screen to know? Ah, that's weird. Game is loading. Give me a second. Oh no, that's not here.
Alaskan Kare 911 said, "Hi Mereak and everyone. You did have an ad, but it was short."
Oh, good.
Axbeard said you got some ads in the sidebar on mobile. I didn't see any on mainstream window but was lurking a fair bit. Axbeard said, you should get in-chat notifications when ads are about to start.
I didn't see any. Well, I guess I don't have this world readily available right now, so I apologize about that. I hope you all stay on and watch the Mutsex as we finish up a game. Let's see. How much time do I have left? About 15 minutes. Xbeard, can you start a stream and then you can tell me how to raid with Twitch?
Kasumi said, is tonight the night we're finishing our sandbox tonight?
It is. I think. That was the plan. My wife is getting all excited. I gotta go get her set up though. I can carry everyone over with that raid thing, which I've never done.
Axbeard said, setting up right now. Need a few minutes.
Okay. I assume I go into Steam Manager or something. Stream Manager in my app here. Of course, I don't see. Oh, looks like Gaming Grandma's playing.
Jubo_1071 said, the gang's all here. Kasumi said, "It's a party." Hi, Jubo.
Yeah. Anyone know how to raid on Twitch?
Jubo_1071 said hi.
Type /raid channel name in your chat. Channel name with the target streamer's name. Oh, that's easy. You're Axebeard on Twitch too, right, Axebeard?
Jubo_1071 said, "You did a lot better than I do, lol." Kasumi said, "I'm jumping over to the Muthzak game. See you soon."
Yeah, I'm gonna load in there too. Except it's not running. Hold on. Starting up the server. Oh, I should not be here. I don't have the right equipment. Well, this whole transition thing to another stream is not
Axebeard said,
exactly
"Stream is
seamless.
running, but on starting soon screen."
Okay, so is your channel Axebeard? Axbeard?
Axebeard said 13.
Any space or no?
Axebeard said plus Roman numeral 13, no spaces.
Okay. I will do that in one moment. Had to get the right equipment.
Jubo_1071 said, I'll meet you guys back here in a little bit. Gotta get the dogs ready for B.
All right. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Did that work? Started a raid on channel Axbeard XIII. Do you see it, Axbeard? Is it working? Wait 10 seconds or click raid now. I don't see a raid now. I better get on Discord. Hello.
Hey.
Did my raid work? Yes, no, maybe?
I'm here.
Yeah, it just popped in.
Oh, good.
I think you're still broadcasting through your stream though. I can hear an echo.
Um, oh, did you end my... I guess I'll end my stream, right?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. Well, everybody, 5 minutes early, but I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good evening.
Hmm.